The Shattered Dimensions Part 2. Chapter 3. The Sinister Twins. The air was colder here, a chill that seeped into Jack and Lily's bones, a harbinger of the unnatural encounter to come. They stumbled upon a clearing where the moonlight, fractured and dim, barely pierced the oppressive darkness. It was here that they first saw them, their own faces staring back with hollow eyes and twisted smiles. These doppelgangers were not mere reflections. They were corruptions of Jack and Lily's very beings, their features marred by an otherworldly malevolence. Their skin was pale, almost translucent, veins visible beneath like dark rivers of poison. Their eyes, devoid of warmth or humanity, glowed with a sickly luminescence, fixated on the couple with an intensity that promised pain and suffering. The doppelgangers spoke in unison, their voices a dissonant chorus that resonated with the sound of shattering glass. They recounted memories that Jack and Lily held dear, twisting them into grotesque parodies that mocked their love and happiness. With each step the doppelgangers took forward, the ground beneath them blackened, as if their very presence was a blight upon the world. Plants withered, insects fled, and the air grew heavy with the stench of decay. Jack and Lily tried to run, but the doppelgangers mirrored their every move with unnerving precision. Always one step behind, or was it ahead? The boundary between hunter and hunted blurred as the chase ensued, a macabre dance of death that led them through the twisted landscape. The doppelgangers' laughter echoed through the night, a sound that clawed at the mind, promising that escape was futile. They whispered of a fate worse than death, of being consumed, body and soul, until nothing remained but shadows to be puppeteered by these sinister twins. As the night wore on, the realization dawned on Jack and Lily that this was no mere pursuit. It was a ritual, and they were the unwilling participants in a game that could only end in their complete annihilation. Chapter 4. The Town of Lost Screams. The town that Jack and Lily stumbled upon was shrouded in an impenetrable fog, the kind that swallows sound and hope alike. The buildings, once vibrant and full of life, now stood silent, their windows like blind eyes staring into nothingness. The streets were empty, but the air was heavy with the presence of unseen watchers, their breaths a whisper against the nape of the couple's necks. As they walked, the cobblestones beneath their feet seemed to shift, the path behind them contorting into unfamiliar patterns. The fog grew denser, and with it came a cacophony of whispers, voices of the town's former inhabitants, perhaps, or something far older, something that had never known the warmth of life. The silence was suddenly broken by a child's giggle, a sound so out of place in this desolate landscape that it sent shivers down their spines. It was followed by a soft lullaby, floating through the air, a haunting melody that seemed to come from everywhere at once. The words, if there were any, were lost in the mist, but the tune itself was enough to make their hearts race with primal fear. Every so often, they would catch a glimpse of movement in the corner of their eye, a shadow darting between the buildings, too quick to be natural. The feeling of being followed was constant, a psychological torment that left them jumping at every sound. The town seemed to be alive, its buildings breathing with a rhythmic pulse that matched the beating of their hearts. Doors creaked open only to slam shut as they approached, and from the upper floors of the houses, the sound of footsteps could be heard, pacing back and forth in an endless march. In the center of the town stood a clock tower, its face frozen at the stroke of midnight. The hands of the clock were covered in dark stains, and as they looked closer, they realized it wasn't rust that marred the metal. It was something far more sinister. Jack and Lily knew they had to leave this place, but the town had other plans. The fog seemed to close in around them, and the whispers grew louder, more insistent. They were not alone, and whatever kept them company in the town of Lost Screams had no intention of letting them go. To be continued. Like and subscribe.